Welcome, everyone. And we are on podcast number 3, and we have to talk about Type-0, the new Final Fantasy Brave Exvius banner, an event that just come out. Um, so we're just going to be going into a little bit in-depth breakdowns of the characters of the units of the banners and share our opinions, and we're going to pick apart what we can find that's the best and worst about this. All right, so let's start with the banner itself, and we have Kuja and Awesome going to talk about it. Kuja?
All right. So I guess we'll start from the bottom. This will be the 3-star on the banner, and her name is Cater. It's unfortunate she's a 3-star. Her TM, you're not going to want her TM. It's outdated, and there's probably at least 2 or 3 other units that have this exact same TM.
What does it do, by the way?
It's attack and magic 20%.
Oh, that's
Again,
like a
20% is pretty low. We've gotten recently a lot of even attack 40s in raids, so that's just putting that into perspective. Even if you're new starting out, it's probably not worth farming. There are much better TMs to farm over this one.
And even if you're hybrid, it's still better to focus on one sometimes rather than both.
Yeah, and also, I mean, we get Adventurer 5 for free, basically, doing the expeditions. And that's 40% to all stats. The unit as itself is, again, it's a 3-star unit. It's not very good. It's unfortunate because I actually kind of liked Cater in Type-0. She was actually a very good character.
Like every other gun user.
In that game. Yeah, I mean, the gun unit users in Type-0 are kind of broken.
Oh, welcome, Panda.
Howdy.
Panda's joining us as well.
So I guess we'll go to the 4-star unit on the banner, and that is Deuce.
Taking a deuce.
And she is a bard. Her TM, on the other hand, is actually pretty good. It's 40% magic with fire resistance on it of 50%.
We have a couple of units that have 40% as well, right?
Yes.
But this
why I would rate this better is because it's got the huge, like Awesome was saying, it's got the 50% fire resistance, so you can use it as just the fire resistance or magic, or, depending on the boss, this might be a decent TM to slap on your mage.
Cough, cough, Omega.
Damn it, I was going to do that.
But she's a bard, so she's not very good.
Spoony bards!
Yeah, bards are not good now. They do their buffs and they take up a turn, or they take up a couple turns to do their move. They can't do anything, where most of the buffers now do a move, and then they can do another move the next turn. And most of the time, their buff is just as good as the bard buff, but they can actually do something the next turn, which
that makes
a huge benefit.
That
or they have dual cast.
Yeah,
they suffer more powerful.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also see that being a huge problem if anybody uses bards for 10-man trials. That's really bad.
That blocks you from even switching people out if you use a bard.
They would need to increase the usefulness of each bard skill by double to make it worth losing a character.
Yep.
What do you mean? Do you think that a bard could actually be feasible if their
200% buffs
were doubled?
Yeah, if their buffs were high enough, yeah, it would be feasible.
It would be feasible to use, except for 10-man trials. You still wouldn't want to use them on 10-man trials, but yes, they would be very feasible at like 200% or maybe a little bit higher than 200%, but at 100 and 200, 100 to 120%, they're just not worth it.
You're better off with a regular bard because they're just a regular buffer because they're better. And the fact that, the fact that they can do something else while you still have that buff is just so exponentially more powerful than a bard that they totally trash on any bard.
It's the reason why bards used to be good is because they were basically double the standard single cast. Because our biggest buff was, I think, what, 45 to 55%?
Or 60% or something like that, yeah.
And the bards were 90 to 120, so they were basically double.
Yep.
That's really good to know.
Spoony bards!
Let's move on to the cream of the crop,
unit.
the main units of the banner, right?
Yeah, the 2 5-stars.
Let's start
first
with
one is go ahead.
Machina.
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 Sorry, I apologize.
Deus Machina.
Yes.
Oh, you beat me to it.
So Machina is a physical attacker / debuffer. His TMR is a materia that gives you 35% attack when equipped with a sword, and 15% attack and HP 10% when equipped with clothes. With also, it's an auto cast a buff, which is decent, I guess, if you're not buffing on the first turn.
Or if you fight something with preemptive.
Yeah. But the TM's alright. It's not super amazing for 5-star TM. It's not bad. It's just okay.
It's 50% attack and 10% HP if you look at it. It's pretty decent.
So can you describe what kind of character is he, by the way? What does he, in other words, is he...
Oh, he's a debuffer and attacker.
He's a debuffer and attacker. But also his STMR is, I think, it might not be amazing right now, but
I think it's pretty damn good.
It's good, but it's not as good as it will be in the future.
Well, right now, if you use characters like Orlando, Dark Veritas, if those are your main characters, his STMR is top tier for them. So you get an extra slot.
And basically, if it's a dual wielder that doesn't have dual wield innate, because unfortunately a lot of the units that are dual wielders have dual wield with them, so the sword of the effect of dual wield on the sword.
Or if it's a chainer without dual cast. If it's a chainer without dual cast, basically, you're gonna want dual wield on.
Right. And
this will release a slot.
It's good. It's very good. It's just it gets better in the future.
It's weird for him, is the problem.
He's
because he's got dual wield. So I mean, it's odd that they gave him a TMR that is an STMR that is dual wield, but it's still pretty good. It's a good STMR.
All right. Now you spoke about his he as also a debuffer, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us how does he stack compared to, let's say, the best breaker in the game currently, which is Lid?
He's got a high on-demand breaks. They're higher than Lid's because her on-demands are 60, and
they're single.
And they're single, but he has 70% breaks, with one caveat that they are degrading. Meaning, on turn 1, the break will be 70%. On turn 2, it's going to be 55, and then from turn 4 and 5, the break's going to be 45%.
Okay, so that means over time it loses its value, basically, right?
Yes, significantly. And
no, it's turn 1 is 70%, turn 2 and 3 and 4 are 55%, and then so he's got.
I think the way it works, I mean, I don't know exactly how that's going.
It looks like it's an 8 turn. It looks like it's an 8 turn.
If it's an 8 turn, then it's a little bit better, so kinda. But
the 70% is always turn 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's slightly better than Lid's attack and magic break. Because Lid's attack and magic break is it 50%? Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the first 4 turns, it's better than Lid's.
I mean, the way it's written, it could go a couple different ways. Basically, it could be something that has. It basically just puts 3 debuffs on you, and the 70% lasts for 1 turn, the 55% lasts for 3 turns, and the 45% lasts for 5, meaning it's a 5-turn attack. Yeah. And it degrades as you, like, basically you'll just the highest buff will drop off, and you'll have the next highest, and then all the way up until the 5 turns when it's gone.
That is how it is.
Yeah.
So it is a 5-turn, not 8-turn. Sorry, you're right.
Now, question: is this offensive breaks or defensive?
He's got both.
He's got both. Yes.
Okay, got it.
But the problem is 45 is bad for this meta, so you're basically gonna have to break whatever you want breaking.
Pretty much
every 3 turns. Every 3 turns. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna put a rotation on, it's gonna be Siphon Sword, which breaks defense and spirit, or Stunning Slash, which breaks attack and magic, and then swap between the 2 of them probably.
Yeah. Now, to my understanding, right? I mean, I can see if this degrading sort of buffers, breaking it's okay if it's for the boss's defense and spirit. That just means that you have to do a bit more damage, or you can work that out. But if it's the reverse, if it's the boss's attack and magic, if that degrades, that means he's gonna hit really hard, and I think that's gonna be a huge problem for this character. What do you think?
It is a huge problem.
It is a huge problem because it's, again, he's an attacker / debuffer that he really, if you're going to use him as a debuffer, you really can't debuff and attack at the same time. He doesn't have dual cast, he's got dual wield, so he's going to apply the breaks twice in 1 turn, which is pointless, really.
The only thing that works really well with his rotation, if you're okay with 55% breaks, is you would use Siphon Sword, Stunning Slash the first or second turn, and then you would use
his
Guardian Blades. No, I would use Guardian Blades.
Yeah,
because
okay.
That would give him mitigation,
and
it would also get a chance to counter for 3 turns. So while you're redoing the debuffs, and this is only if you're using as a debuffer, he does have a chance of doing damage. Yeah. It's just the fact that this is kind of a really crummy rotation if you really high buffs.
Yeah, and the counter ability is not super strong either. It's 3x, but it's capped really nice. At 2 a turn. Yeah, it's nice. It's just capped at 2 a turn, which means you're only gonna hit twice.
And if you're fighting an enemy that hits really hard a single turn or something like that, it's really low. But anyways, Guardian Blades is where you counter when your teammates are hit, not when he is hit. That is the big thing about him.
It's like Gladiolus.
Yep.
Well, then
there are a number of units that
and also
he
can chain with absolute mirror of equity, which is Draco Laswell has that chaining family right now. It's not super popular right now, but once more units get 7 stars, i.e. CG Laswell, Reagan, Sephiroth, there's a lot more units that will be able to chain with this ability. And
also, it breaks fire, ice, and lightning by 6% while he's doing that chain.
Yeah, so it's not a bad move.
No,
it's just he doesn't get the chance to be an attacker, basically, is what I'm kind of what I'm getting at.
Oh, that's pretty sad for a character.
Unless you're not going to use him for debuffs, unless you don't want to use him for debuffs, he's not really an attacker.
Now, he seems like he has a lot of lost potential. What about his 7-star kit, his cooldown abilities, and his limit burst? Does he get a lot with him?
He gets the same cooldown ability all the Type-0 units get with the summon the Eidolon. Basically, it's going to fill your evoke gauge and kill him.
Well, it's still a plus. It's still something that he.
Yeah, no. It's good. I mean, it's good. It's a lot. It's really good for if you're looking to do one shots and other things like you know going through the story and it's like evoke an Esper, those annoying quests.
Problem is, those quests typically are involved with don't have a party member die.
Yeah, that's true.
The bane of our existence.
Mm-hmm. I mean, and his other cooldown ability is just meh. I mean, it increases his attack. It allows him to use an ability for 5 turns.
It's a really strong ability.
Yeah, essentially it's a 10x ability.
I think is it Laswell Shining Frames? I can't remember.
I don't know. See.
No, it's not.
No, it's not. So it's only going to chain with him, unfortunately. So, long story short, he isn't very good. I mean, is he technically the best breaker right now? Yes. But he won't be for very long, most likely. Because I'm assuming some point during this month we're going to get Lauren 7-star, and she's going to be a significantly better breaker than him.
Mainly because she can keep a higher break for longer.
Mm-hmm. And Lid's also better than him at 7-star.
About this character, right? I think for new players, this is a very strong unit. Not necessarily because of his buffing, his debuffing abilities.
Dual wield helps him.
Because his imperils of fire, ice, and lightning are 60% with a decently high modifier, right? And he learns this at his maximum level 100.
6-star. Yeah.
Yeah. So, as a 6-star, as a unit itself, without even becoming 7-star, he's extremely serviceable, I would say, because of these imperils that he has.
Yeah, he's not horrible. He's just
niche to certain people.
Well, his longevity is not very good. He's gonna be overtaken potentially in the next week or two. I mean, it's like he's a good breaker because he's essentially the only 7-star breaker at this point.
Well, the thing is you don't even need him to be 7-star to get his better abilities. Like, he's not one of those characters where you need to have the 7-star point. If you get hit one of him, you can actually use him with just one of him. He's not like, in my opinion, Shantoto with a terrible unit at 6-star and pretty good at 7-star. Well, this character here, the only real benefits he gets 7-star are stats and really being able to summon the Esper. His other one's not that useful, and his passives don't increase greatly.
So there's one main caveat that I'm looking at here in terms of this character, right? Is that you can choose to use him in one of two ways, as a debuffer, or as a damage dealer. So it's usually you can't really choose between one or the other. And if you're using him as a damage dealer, the problem is that there is no really units except for Draculazul that chains with him at the moment. So
yeah, I mean at the moment, there's going to be a lot of units eventually. So
yeah, however, by what you've been saying, by the time they do come out, his skill of debuffing is no longer going to be relevant, at least.
No, but I mean, you could still technically use him to chain with another unit. I mean,
but his damage is still pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's move on to the next 5-star base.
Kurasame!
7-star max unit.
Best unit on this banner.
Kurasame.
TMR fodder.
Nah, he's pretty good.
I know that both of you guys have a difference of opinion on him. Let's hear both sides. Kuja, let's hear your side first.
Let's start off with his TMR, which is called Ice Blade Hilt. It gives you 50 MP, 40 attack, 40 magic, and ice resistance 50%. Now, you might look at that and say, well, it's not that good. It's only 40 attack and 40 magic. It's obviously for a hybrid, and right now hybrids tend to use percentage accessories.
Yep.
But there are hybrids, including him, that have true double hand, both attack and magic, in his kit. And in those cases, this TM is going to be much better than a
dual wield.
Well, I mean, I'm saying it's better than like Noctis's ring.
Well, no.
30% attack and magic.
If you're not a dual wield character, if you're gonna be a true double hand and not a dual character, this is better TMR.
Oh, absolutely.
If you're gonna be a dual wield character, then Noctis's or other characters with high percentages for attack and magic both.
It's gonna be better, yeah.
It's gonna be better, yeah.
And
unless you're a true dual wield, which I don't think we have a true dual wield hybrid currently.
No.
Also, that ice resistance isn't too shabby.
Nope.
50%.
Yep.
His STMR is Ice Blade Hirmuro, which is essentially it's a hybrid sword with ice element.
It's a better Fry's needle.
Pretty much. It's a 130 attack, 162 magic. It's a solid STMR. Not game breaking or anything, but it's pretty good.
All right. Now, what about his kit? Can you tell us
kit?
what kind of a unit, by the way, is
He's a hybrid attacker.
Okay, got it. And based on what I've seen as well, he's an ice-based hybrid attacker.
Correct. He's similar to Fravia. If you want to compare him to a unit.
Well, technically can be either ice or water for the part because his main skill you use is non-element. So based on what weapon you put on him, is going to determine what attacker you are.
He can also add ice to his attacks too. So
I know, but if he was going to work with, for example, Titus, because he is a quick hit chainer.
Yep. I mean, you can absolutely equip him so that he can chain with any element basically, because his main chaining ability is non-elemental, which is also good. He has the ability to double cast on demand. He also has the ability to triple cast based on a couple different ways. If you have his TMR equipped, it gives him the ability to start the battle with triple cast. He also has another ability that debuffs the ice resistance of the enemy, and also gives him triple cast. His LB, if you're wearing his TMR, also allows triple cast. So he's got a load of different ways to access his triple cast ability.
Now he's triple casting a chaining move, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
What chaining family, and is it
is it quick hit?
Quick hit.
So it's like Titus.
Well,
Titus, lightning.
It's either that, or he can also triple cast two other skills, but they don't have any other chaining families other than himself.
Right.
So unless you're gonna not make either a 7-star or you're gonna have two 7-star versions of him, you probably won't use the other two skills.
Yeah,
but
it's probably gonna be semi-difficult to find a friend Kurasame outside of this mocking event. He also has a couple of cool abilities that can be used in the arena, because he has chance to counter physical and magic attacks with instant KO, which is kind of I mean, but still, it's trolly in the arena, so it's kind of funny.
I mean, it's something pretty good to have in his kit, especially for arena where there can be some extremely difficult opponents. However,
it is just
hit though.
Yeah, it's
however, based on what I've read about it, that it's a little bit gimmicky because
Yeah.
the chances of it happening are pretty low.
Yep.
Because he can only do it twice per turn. That's if it does happen, and it's only 20% chance of it happening. And of
Yeah.
that 20% of it happening, he has a 30% chance of actually executing it. Of the instant death. Yeah.
It's okay. I mean, again, it's just a little nice thing if you want some extra instant death in the arena. That's pretty much the only time you'd use it anyway. He's got a lot of passives that increase his attack and magic also. He's got a couple, like, if his HP gets below a certain point, his attack and magic are going to go up. So it's also, and he also has other abilities. One of his cooldown abilities in particular increases his attack and magic by 200% for 5 turns. So he's gonna like already come pre-buffed pretty much.
Does this now? I've noticed this with many units that have been released since 7 stars. They come sometimes with a buff, but does that buff stack with other buffs, or does it rewrite the buffs?
No, the stronger buff will override it.
Got it.
I mean, his LB increases his attack and magic by 250%, and his cooldown ability increases his attack and magic by 200%. There aren't very many units, if at all, that can increase your attack and magic higher than that. So it's a nice little thing that he has. Is it broken? No, but he's gonna come with buffs, and if he gets hit and almost dies, he's gonna have a free buff. I mean, and most likely you're gonna be using his LB because his LB is actually pretty good.
So the biggest benefit to his LB is the fact that you can break his ice by at least 75% and get triple cast, so that you can actually triple cast while having the stronger debuff on the turn.
Yep.
And this is the biggest problem with, similar to Machina, is this guy has a degrading debuff, and that's the one that's castable. On the first turn, it's 100%, but since you cannot dual cast with this skill, you cannot attack during this turn. So when Kurosami can attack again, it'll be down to 75%, and you will get a chance. You can only dual cast at that point because you don't have triple cast anymore, but you can dual cast his stronger attack, which is Zekin Twilight, which is twice as strong as his regular attack.
So
his regular quick hit attack.
Are you saying that the turn that he does his lowers the enemy's ice resistance, right, by 100%? He himself doesn't attack, so I'm assuming that
cannot attack.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that he has to facilitate others to attack when that's being done.
If you want to, I mean, if you're going to use that skill to debuff him by 100%, I mean, his LB debuffs by 100%.
If you've maxed
and you
it.
Can, yeah, right, but
it'll have to be.
His LB is pretty strong. It's 30x. It's hybrid. Yeah. It's hybrid, so the 30x isn't really gonna do 30x damage. It's gonna be more like 15. But it's still decently strong with a huge attack and magic buff.
It is also 30 crystals, though. That's the problem. He's not going to get this consistently like a 16 crystal character would. Like, Tidus's debuff is 100%, but he gets it, like, compared to this guy, where it's
gonna
be one or two
Tidus has
turns,
to unlock his dual cast and all that crap.
Yeah,
so
I'm
the
not
only
arguing.
person, you're trying to say the only person that can chain with him, will their rotations match? Triple casting, that is. Like his and
no, they don't.
Oh,
if you're gonna be like constantly triple casting, his best chaining partner is himself.
Yeah, him and Tidus have two different ways of getting triple cast, and Kurosami gets it first turn right out the bat. And I don't remember if Tidus does. I don't think he does though.
Tidus has to wait till like the 10th, like the 5th turn or something before he can triple cast. But as a unit, right now, he's pretty good. He's weakened by the fact that he's a quick hit frame chainer, because it's very hard to chain that family.
And the degrading debuff for his ice resistance.
Yeah.
The fact that you cannot.
I mean, in my opinion, I wouldn't even really be using that move because you can't dual cast it. I'd be going in and hitting up some of his other moves that you can dual cast before.
Well, the thing is with the instant health freeze, the reason why it is a good skill is because it actually opens up the Twilight Rain skill.
Cast, yeah.
No, it's not his triple cast. It opens up Twilight Rain, which is his stronger hybrid quick hit.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
So instead of opening up, it doesn't open up triple cast. It opens up Twilight Rain, which is a 24 times.
Yeah,
hybrid.
I read that wrong.
So it does make up for the fact that you're taking a turn off to do it.
Yeah.
But if you're going to keep the buff up to a decent level, you're going to have to do it every other turn, which gets extremely expensive. Because not only will you be dual casting Twilight Rain, you have to cast instant health freeze, and they're both very expensive.
Got it.
Yes. But again, you don't. I mean, if I were looking at this, I would only use instant health freeze on that first turn, and then I would get my debuffs from my LB after the fact.
Okay, so based on the information that both of you have given us, right, I can safely make the assumption that these two units are very turn-specific kind of units that could be used for different roles. Because we have on one hand somebody who is a debuffer, dual-wield attacker, and we also have on the other hand a buffer, ice debuffer, as well as a hybrid. Really,
I wouldn't call him a buffer. He increases his own attack and magic.
No, he has a move that does 110 attack and magic for all allies while increasing ice.
You would only use it for the ice resistance if you need the ice resistance. The buff itself is not that good.
Yeah, he's not a buffer. He's an attacker. He's a hybrid attacker.
All right.
Is he good? Yeah, he's pretty good. He's just, again, it's hard to chain quick hit, and he's probably going to get overshadowed by Fryvia's 7-star.
Probably.
Probably. We don't know, but
they could give her the same love as they gave Nalu, which is not dual cast, and that would completely destroy her.
Yep, but I highly doubt they'll do that. She's gonna at least get double cast, and then she might get a chance to open like triple cast.
What's your opinion on this, Panda?
Would you say it's spicy meatball?
Not particularly. I mean, he's good. It's just that it's hard to build a good hybrid attacker. They're very TMR heavy.
I don't like quick hit frames, so I don't think he's very good. I don't like his rotation. I don't like how much his limit burst costs. To me, he's just kind of okay.
So it seems as though these two units really, really depend on what you need in your party and what you can do. Like, for instance, if you have Titus, then maybe
if you're using Titus,
he might be a good option for you. If you don't have a good debuffer as well, maybe Machina might be a good option for you. It all probably depends on what you currently have in your party.
I think Machina will be good for new players because of the fact that he has dual wield built into his kit. He does have debuffs that are not terrible. They're not fantastic because they do degrade, but they're not terrible. And he does have good imperils. So right now he is probably very good for beginner players.
Yep.
For the people who've been playing for a while,
nope.
Probably gonna get overshadowed very quickly.
And Kurosame might be the more favorable for more experienced players, yeah?
Yeah, I would say he's definitely the unit you, as a more experienced player, you're going to want. If you want any of these units off his banner, I mean, they're not... This is definitely a skippable banner. it's a mocking event, so you're gonna have to pull a little bit at least.
If you're
Oh,
okay with
so the
quick
same
hit,
units, the 3-star units, the 4-star units, and these units, you'll have to pull to get some bonuses when doing this event. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, and one thing also, we got two 11k step ups with this banner, which is
Yeah,
for
that's
each
what I
one.
was getting to. What the banners are going to be like. Can you tell us a little about that, Panda?
Well, with these step up banners, it's it's an 11k, so your chances of getting these specific units are really high. It's a really good chance of getting these units, especially at step 5, because the rainbow rate's like, I believe, 7%, and that high chance will be that unit.
is it really 7? I thought it was 5.
Well,
Yeah.
it's 5 times it, and each crystal ends up being 7%. It's five times.
Okay.
It's 5% for that unit and 2% off banner.
Yes, and
So
the one thing that makes this step up very special is the third step.
Now, I mean, I think it's something worth noting because I've been burned in the past. That 11k or 11,000 lapis step ups are not guaranteed.
nope.
Is that right? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So it is still a gamble.
Which
Yep.
I will say, I have way too much luck with these things, and I'm blessed.
I mean, you could be blessed or cursed either way. So, but
I'm in the middle.
if you do get units, you do great. You get great, out of it. I would say, and if you don't, then you just don't.
Well, okay, like
You usually get. Sorry.
No,
Go ahead.
go ahead. Yeah, say your thought.
I was gonna say you either get nothing or you get everything. Like typically,
Mhm.
like whenever I get these banners, I either get 0 rainbows throughout the entire thing, or I'll end up on the 5th step with 5 or 3, and just be like, cha-ching.
Yeah, it's one of those things where like
Go big or go home.
when you get a rainbow, it's pretty high chance that like you're gonna get that unit, and on the last 5k pull, it's a very high chance that you get multiple rainbows, and those multiple rainbows will be banner unit. So if you're looking to get a 7-star, the 11k summons tend to be a pretty high chance to get their 7-star rather than just getting one. Like if you're doing the 25k, you're guaranteed 2 rainbows. You're guaranteed an EX rainbow, which can be anything. It could be a Delita, it could be a Sephiroth, it could be something good. It could also, I mean, just from my experience though, EX rainbows tend to be bad.
They're
Alright,
good.
so-
Ramza or that.
They're good if you're
Dark
new.
Like I was saying with the step up also, at the 3rd step, it has a 30% rainbow ticket, which again, it's hit or miss.
Yep.
Every single 10% and 30% rainbow for me has been a rainbow, which again, I'm blessed.
I always get blues. I've only
Same.
got one rainbow.
Never
from
pulled a rainbow
Well-
from one of those tickets. But again, it's not a bad idea to just hop in, do 3k, get the 30% rainbow ticket, and save the 30% rainbow ticket for a banner you actually want to pull.
One thing also
Yeah,
I
that's-
will bring up, if you are still pulling for Valkyrie profile, which I would not do, unless if you have 3 Arngrim, you could use those 30% tickets and test your luck trying to get those Valkyrie profile units, which I would not advise. I'd save it for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Christmas
So
or just a future event.
now, seeing as we do have to pull on these banners in some form of fashion, we have to use them for this King Mog event. Can you tell us about you guys? Can you tell us these rewards that we getting from the King Mog event? Are they worth it? What are we getting? And for new players, anything can benefit them, or do you think that the rewards are not that great?
Okay, so this Mod King event, where it's in Final Fantasy Type-0 event, of course, and it's going to be the Clash on Big Bridge, which originally is a Final Fantasy V thing. which it links
But
into
they
the story
do.
though, but it originated from Final Fantasy V. As you know, the usual, you go in, you bring your bonus units, you head out, and you're set. And you get all your stuff. In here, you get your currency, and it's the knowing tags. In this event, you will be able to get certain equipment, a katana. It's called the Bushido Blade. It comes with 75 attack and Man-Eater.
Buy
Man-Eater
it.
is
Buy it.
amazing. You will need
Yep.
that.
Yep. Buy it. Even if
Anything,
you're not going to use it now, you'll use it in the future. Man-Eater.
any
The,
killer.
the the killer abilities on weapons usually makes up for the low attack,
Mm-hmm.
so it's definitely advised to get that.
Then after that, we get the Magitech 2 Prime. It's a pistol. It comes with 60 attack and 10% MP, and it's Ice Elemental.
Yep. So that's also good.
At the same time, we've also had previous raid events which have given us higher attack pistols, and they are
Like the
Ice
Ice
Elemental.
Elemental.
We've had it before with Just Cause, I believe.
It's still good though. I think the Just Cause Ice Elemental weapon was two-handed though.
I believe it. No, I don't think it was. But
No, I believe it wasn't. I know, I believe it has magic along with it, but I definitely have used it on, let's say, my Lara, and it's single-handed.
mm-hmm. Then after that, we got our two really bad materials, unless if you're a starting player, which
if
is
you just started, these are okay. If you have played for any amount of time, they're not very good. So those are probably pass.
so. The materials are HP 10% and attack and magic by 5% is one of the materials. The other one is HP 10% and defense and spirit by 5%, which is it's like I guess it's good.
It's better than the HP and the magic and attack one, but it's not very good.
It's good if
pretty
if you
low
just started.
stats. If you just started, it's good, but I mean, if you've been around a month, you've probably got
We've
better,
had better.
stuff. Yeah.
And as usual, every King Mog event we will have the UOC tickets, and instead of being 100 like last time, was it 100 or 1,000?
It was 1,000 last month,
1,000.
but it's 150,000 this month.
Which
And the reason they do that is because they've stated that they want one UOC ticket to be difficult to get and one to be easy. And in October we had two Mog King events, so that's why the Final Fantasy 15 had the 150,000 one, and then the Halloween Mog King had it.
All right, and I guess it would be one extra thing to note, that these are this event, you can only get bonuses on these Type-0 units that are on the banner and not any previous Type-0 units, right? So these 4 units that we just called for us this evening, those are the ones that we're only getting bonus on. All right, and also something that we have to look forward to is the 35 million downloads campaign. The game has been downloaded 35 million times, and this is their way of celebrating. Yep, worldwide, and it's they're celebrating by having a sweepstakes and having an entire month of celebrations to go with it, right? And during this sweepstakes, they're giving away 35 million lapis for free in total to all players, right? So this is going to be split up, obviously, between the players with all their winners, right? They're going to have 90,000 getting 350 lapis, 350 winners getting 3,500 lapis, 35 winners getting 35,000 lapis, and 3 big winners who are getting 350,000 lapis. Oh my god, that is
time for
that
Panda
is incredible.
Right? Time for Panda to roll the dice.
So how do you win this? Basically, they're having a simple quest that you do. And just by doing the quest, you'll automatically be entered into the sweepstakes. So cross your fingers, guys, and I hope any of us get some great lapis out of this. Hopefully, all right. And there's also gonna be some tickets for this event, daily tickets that we're gonna get for, I believe it may be between 2 weeks or a little bit more than 2 weeks. Um, and the rates I've heard are also pretty increased on these tickets. Maybe
Yeah,
I
they're
believe
they're
it's
5%.
5%. 5% is a pretty good, very good chance of getting a rainbow on it. So all in all, I think it's pretty amazing. And also during this period, we'll be getting Vault of the Hidden Treasure, where every single day we're gonna get um, king cactors, we're gonna get guild snappers, we're gonna get a whole bunch of rewards, even pots and stuff. So I think this is gonna be a very rewarding period for us. Yeah.
And yeah, also for the Vault of Hidden Treasures, it resets every day, so don't forget to do it every day.
Yes. Make sure and do it every day,
It's
as
the
much as you
good
can.
pots. It's the good
Yeah.
pots.
All right,
Hmm.
and finally, let's wrap up with telling us a little bit about maybe what's coming for the near future. Like we have Christmas right on the horizon, right? What do you guys foresee for the Christmas?
Tifa.
Tifa's coming out in December, more than likely for that Mog King event.
Or
Uh,
better, what we could get is my sweet, sweet Onion Knight Refia.
yeah, I think you're pushing it. I think it's
Don't
gonna be
push my
Tifa,
limits, man.
but
uh, what about you, Awesome? Anything you're looking forward to?
Oh, I think he went to go do something, but well, I think
Yeah, we'll
what
get
he's
back
gonna
to it.
say is he's probably gonna be trying to get his White Knight Noel, for
yeah,
7 stars. How he still has a White Knight Noel, I
or
believe.
Christine
Yeah,
or
Christine
Krilla.
is.
It'd be interesting to see what they do with Krilla. Also, Frivia's 7-star is on the horizon.
Mhm.
It's either going to be in November or December. I think it's more likely that she'll be in November so that we have her 7-star for when FanFesta happens and
Woohoo!
the Aura Fravia gets released, who's more than likely going to be better than our 7-star Fravia. So
Which,
it would make sense to have her be 7-star first.
if you are going to FanFesta, let us know. Me, Panda, just I'm gonna be there. These guys aren't, because we're too cool for them.
All
uh,
right,
But yeah, I mean,
I'm
there's
me
a lot to look
personally,
forward to. I
yep,
mean, we
Christmas
could
there
get
are many units. There are banners that have been that are supposed to be coming pretty soon.
yeah,
Um,
you know
is there
collabs
anything
like
else?
Secret of Mana is likely coming
Yep.
probably this month.
Do you wanna know what I gotta say
Uh,
about that?
you want
Uh,
Randy?
yes, yes, and Flammy, but for next month, winter is coming. I have
Yep.
to say it.
Those Christmas units. We have three current Christmas units that are very popular: White Knight
Yep.
Noel, Christine, and um,
Krilla, who's
Cruella. Right? And
interesting.
they're all unique, and it's very interesting what their 7 stars may be, and or if we also may have new units, like
Oh, we'll definitely have units,
similarly to how we had for Halloween. So
and hopefully they
Come on,
decide
come on, let's get a gingerbread
only
man. Gingerbread
holiday
man.
units are on that banner because that
Gingerbread Man is a very interesting
His
unit.
limit,
I
his
mean,
limit burst. He runs from the human.
is he gonna be like true double hand with a cane, a candy
candy
cane?
cane Gianna.
And he's gonna have a gumdrop TM. that
Oh my god, I would
that'll
love
be
that.
pretty funny.
Oh my god.
That'll be pretty funny. All right. Well, that's about it for this week, guys. thanks for listening to us. And for more in-depth breakdowns, explanations, overviews, opinions, and reviews, we pick apart the best and worst in the game on what to expect. And we'll see you soon.
Later.
Good night.
Good night.